I mentioned, you're riding high right now. I thought you did a great job in the last debate. You were very powerful, and a couple of polls even had you in third place in New Hampshire, heading into today's primary ahead of Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren. So what are you going to do to solidify your place in the top three?
Well, Joy, we're doing it right now. I go everywhere. I've been at Dunkin' Donuts. I've eaten poutine. I have been in diners all over the place, and I just reach out to people. And I think that is what we have to do if we're going to win, not just in the New Hampshire primary, but across the country. And I think part of what happened at that debate, I've put a lot of hard work into and my heart into this all year, but people finally saw that heart. And I've been talking a lot about my ideas for health care and education, but I was finally able to tell them why I'm running, and that is that I think we've got a guy in the White House that lacks decency, that doesn't have empathy for everyday people. He can't put himself in their shoes. I can. My granddad was he was an iron ore miner. My dad was a newspaper man. My mom was a teacher. I'm the first woman elected to the U.S. Senate from my state, and I'm someone who's had to work hard, like so many Americans, for every place I've gotten.
Right, so
and that's a case I made in that debate.
So you didn't inherit $40 million from your father. Okay, so I want to go.
No, I didn't. In fact, my dad saved money in a coffee can, my grandpa in the coffee can in the basement to send my dad to college. That was my family's trust.
Okay. I want to talk about something that bothered me, that's bothering me, because we saw video captured by a CBS reporter that went viral from last night of Joe Biden pushing an angry heckler out of a rally. And then we find out that CPAC chairman Matt Schlapp said the other day that Mitt Romney wasn't invited to his conference because he couldn't guarantee his physical safety after his patriotic impeachment vote. There seems to be a threat of violence in the air these days. I wanted to know if you have felt it on the trail, and where do you think that's coming from?
Well, I think when you have a president that is cutting people down all the time, belittling them, going after immigrants, that it fuels a lot of anger. And I just want to say something about Mitt Romney, as well as my friend Doug Jones from Alabama. They took incredibly courageous votes. I didn't like how that impeachment hearing turned out, and I know you've talked a lot about it on the show. I think we should have had witnesses and gotten to the truth.
Right.
But what I saw sitting there when I saw Mitt Romney practically in tears talking about how he had an obligation, that he took an oath, and that he was not going to back down on that oath, to me that's courage. And when you have a leader that makes tough decisions, you're not always popular. And that's one of those points I made during that debate, and I make to America now. I'm someone that looks people in the eye and tells them the truth. And I don't have everyone agree with me when I do that, but one of the reasons I've been able to bring in independents and moderate Republicans, as well as a fired-up Democratic base, like we're seeing here in New Hampshire, is that I have been able to build a coalition, a wide tent. And I think that's what we need right now. People want a patriotism check on that guy. They don't agree with everything we say on the debate stage. I don't agree with everything that's said on the debate stage. But I do know there's people out there that are trying to decide, do they pay for their child care or pay for their long-term care for their parents? I know them, and I'm going to fight for them. Okay. If you decide trying to figure out how you make your paycheck stretch to pay your rent, I know you, and I'll fight for you. I think we need someone like that in the White House.